great honor to have Gil Shaham with us today for this violin masterclass. Of course, Gil Shaham needs no introduction, really. He's one of the great musicians of our generation, someone who has been a musical presence certainly throughout my life, and someone who we've all looked up to and whose music we continue to enjoy. And if there's any one thing I wanted to ask right away is, how have you been spending the past year?
Thank you for the kind words. Yeah, I'm so honored to be here. I'm so happy to be with everybody. The past year, I've been very lucky, you know. These are tragic times, right? But ironically, there have been some positives. So I've been hanging out with my family a lot, and you know, I love it. They're sick of me at this point, you know, but I've loved being around them. Yeah, they're kind of like, when are you going to go play some concerts?
Sure. Well, they're unusual circumstances, and of course, it's we are also lucky to be here with you right now, and to be well, and to be sharing this music. And thank you for spending the time. Our first performers are Yevin Yu and Dina Weinstein, and they will be performing a segment from Glazunov Violin Concerto.
So beautiful. What a great performance.
Thank you.
I hope I did that right. Trying to clap. Yes. Um, I thought you sounded so beautiful. There is a little bit maybe of somebody said maybe the volume's all the way at 100. I don't know if there's a little bit of distortion or something. Maybe if it's possible, let's try it at 90 or at 95. Thank you, thank you. But anyway, I wanted to ask you, Yevin, how did you decide to play this piece?
It's been something that I've been wanting to play for a very long time, just because I think there's something about this piece that's emotion. There's a lot of, I feel like something inner emotion, just like even if it's poignant, it feels like it's very contained within one's self, and it was just like it makes your heart kind of flutter a lot in that kind of way. And I wanted to play it when I was kind of ready to work on a lot of sound details and colors, so I chose this.
Oh, yeah, it shows. It shows beautiful. Yeah, when I saw that you were going to play it, I was thinking of my old teacher, but my very first teacher when I was in Jerusalem in Israel. He was an emigre, I guess, maybe more of a refugee. He grew up in Lithuania and was really trained in the Russian school, and by the time I studied with him, he was in his 80s. I guess from Lithuania, he went to Germany. He played in the Hamburg Philharmonic for a while. Then he came to Israel, where I studied with him. But he loved the Glazunov violin concerto. And just the way he would speak about this piece, there was so much love for this music, and I heard that when you were playing it. You love this piece, and it shows, and you make your audience love it too. Yeah, it was so beautiful. I was hoping we could maybe just make you play more. Do you mind? Do you mind if we just play like the first page, or until the second theme one time? Beautiful, beautiful. I just have maybe a couple of thoughts. Maybe that that sort of up and down, right? Just now, that last phrase you played,
Yeah.
I don't know if you have the measure numbers, from 31 to 36,
Yep.
you know, maybe that top note can last a little bit longer, if you can imagine a singer, and I always think whenever you see a tie, whenever you see a dot, anything that goes over the beat, maybe it's a little crescendo into the beat, um, you know. I imagine in my mind, I always think singers would do that. They would hold that until the beat happens, and then they'd hold it even longer and longer. And um, yeah. And then I wanted to ask you about some of the downshifts, but do you want to just play that 31 to 36?
Sure.
Beautiful, beautiful. I guess what is your finger? What fingering do you do just there? I'm not sure what your plan is for the shift, but sometimes I hear I don't know if you want there to, if you want to hide the shift or if you want to highlight it. I'm not sure that it's exactly. And then I felt like the D, I don't know if it's possible even to make a little more crescendo into the downbeat. It can be such a satisfying thing. Something like that. Okay, last time. I really love that. Thank you. Yeah, and the shifts I thought were fine, and that's really basically what I wanted to ask you about other places. Um, can we talk about 2 to 3?
Yes.
Yeah, I felt like we need a plan for those bars. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 bars. I don't know. Do you want to just play them and see what we come up with? So a couple of things. One is I hear a little bit. I'm exaggerating, but I hear a little bit of the shift down. Maybe there's a way to hide that. And somehow that D flat, I think that's kind of the money note, it's really like people think of it as C sharp, it should be A major, but here it's just so sad. It's actually, it's the sad C sharp. It's the D flat. Taram, 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 taram. Right, the phrases get faster. Taram, 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 and then the pattern changes. Right, the pattern changes, and I think on the calando, on the D, on the money note, um, something like that. But I'm gonna stop talking and let you play, and actually maybe just try to listen for those downshifts and try to try to hide them.
Mhm. Yep.
Beautiful, beautiful. And then with this one, you know, there's once you reach the third beat of that bar,
Mhm.
it's a beautiful augmented harmony with the piano to make sure you savor that. You know, there's a nice dissonance right there. Um, and I still feel maybe this can be a bigger deal. Maybe that's kind of that change. You know, so suddenly the triplets have a different grammar. Okay, lucky last time, I promise. It's so beautiful. Brava, brava. Both of you, bravi. Um, yeah. So now let's talk about the opening. So until two, what is the highest note between the opening and two?
The a B natural.
So from the beginning until two. Yeah, exactly. That's C. And I think, you know, he has that tenuto marking on it. I feel like maybe that's a big deal, you know. And here we need to hear this. Somehow you need to punch it out because of the lower register. And, you know, somehow this highest note we've reached, it's a big deal. We started out all the way in the bottom. And now we've... and that's it. I'll stop talking and let you play. Oh, I love that. I love that. You know what's hard is to get a lot of vibrato on that top C. And then the next one is a fourth finger. Yeah, make sure there's nice vibrato on that. You know, yeah. what is your thing? Da, da, you know, si, mi, re, la, si. Oh no, I mean the bar before that. Yes. So before, when you were playing, da, 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 and then I don't know, I'm not sure what happens, but somehow I hear a shift down or. Do you mind just playing that? Da, 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 da. Yes. Beautiful, beautiful. It sounds really beautiful. Do you want to play second theme from number 4? So beautiful. I love it. I just enjoy hearing you. Maybe some similar things, you know. I don't know how you play so hard. But it's hard not to hear that shift on. I don't know. I don't know what the fingering is, but it sounds a can sound. You know, maybe it can be somehow cleaner. Yeah, and then the ties. You know, even something very hard like a. You know, somehow this goes all the way to the third beat. You know, there's something about that third beat that makes it satisfying. The same at 1 before 5, you know. I always, I feel like maybe not in a mannered way, but it's nice to crescendo into that tie, you know. Like a little crescendo into that beat. Yeah. Oh, do you mind? I love, do you mind to play it again from there and continue afterwards?
Sure.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry to interrupt, but I see that we're kind of running out of time a little bit. Um, it sounds so beautiful. I was wondering, you know, those tenuto markings, those lines over the notes, I'm not sure you have the same markings as I do, but maybe they are also a rhythmic thing, you know, not just articulation, you know, maybe they can be longer, you know, maybe there's something very emphatic about. Something like that, you know, I don't know if you like that or not, but it's possible that it's an expressive thing.
Sure.
I don't know. Do you want to try? I see a couple more. You know, there's that one. Oh yeah. And then here, you know, I love this. And then the A flat becomes a G sharp. I think that's a big deal. Somehow, suddenly we understand the note. The whole time it was mysterious. It was an A flat, and now, oh, it's a G sharp, you know? And maybe that's what the tenuto is about. Maybe, I don't know, maybe it's nice to take more time on. I'll stop talking now. Do you want to try playing that again?
Sure.
And just try to hold on to those tenutos, you know, make them as long as you. Brava, brava, brava. Thank you for playing. Sounds so beautiful.
Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
Please keep it up.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Brava, Yevin and Dina, wonderful. Thank you so much.
So beautiful. Yes.
Yeah, wonderful
Thank you.
performance. Beautiful.
Both
Before we go to the next performer, I must apologize. I neglected to mention that Mr. Shaham has brought to us, is made possible, this class is made possible by the generous support of Richard P. and Claire W. Morse Visiting Artist Fund. And we're so thankful to have this class, a wonderful, wonderful start to the class. Thank you. So now we're gonna go to, oh, excuse me. Go
Please
ahead.
call me Gil.
Gil, okay, we're happy to.
Mr. Shaham is like my dad or something. Yeah.
Great, thank you, Gil. We're gonna go to Pierce Hall now, where we have Esther and Lorena are going to perform Wieniawski Faust Fantasy. Is your audio on there, Esther?
Can you hear me?
We can, yes. And we can see you. Hi. Great.
Brava, bravi. How do we do? Yeah. Way to go, Esther. Sounded great. So, Esther, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
And may I call you Esther, or is that what people call you? Yeah, great job. Sounded fantastic. And thank you, Lorena, too. I loved it. So I got to tell you, my wife is a violinist, Adele Anthony, and maybe about a month ago, she said, "Oh, I heard somebody play Wieniawski Faust Fantasy, and I love that piece." And she's like, "I want to learn Wieniawski Faust Fantasy." So she like took out the music and she's been practicing Wieniawski Faust Fantasy. And I think it's pretty fantastic music. I guess many years ago I played maybe the Sarasate. Do you know the Sarasate Faust Fantasy? Yeah, she was saying, "Oh, you have to hear the Kogan recording, Leonid Kogan. Have you heard that one?"
No.
I haven't heard it yet, but I will. I'm getting to it. But she says it's amazing. I mean, he's an incredible violinist. How did you come to this piece? What brought you to Wieniawski Faust Fantasy?
Like I heard this piece for the first time at my friend's concert, and I thought this piece is really cool. And then I really like the like kind of lyrical melodies in this piece, so I picked this for like to learn.
Yeah, those Gounod melodies are incredible, right? And I love what Wieniawski does with that too. Let's see. I guess, when you were playing, I was trying to think of what I could possibly say, what I could, is this a very hard piece to learn? It looks, I mean, you don't sound like you have any trouble with it at all, but I don't know if I wanted to learn it, it's like, how long does this take to learn?
Well, like I practiced this piece like for 3 months.
3 months. Wow.
3 months, I think. Yeah, I don't really remember, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it looks kind of hard. I don't know. But you don't sound like you have any trouble with it. When you were playing, I was trying to think, what can I possibly say? I was remembering talking to a wonderful horn player by the name of Bill Caballero. And, horn players are different from violinists. Sometimes they just play one note. Sometimes, we violinists, we're playing a lot of notes sometimes. And horn players sometimes come in an orchestra, I don't know, some symphony or other, and they play 2 notes or 3 notes, and it's just magic. How did you do that? How did you make that happen? And so I asked Bill, and he said, in my experience, the simpler the better. Always the simpler the better. And so, I don't know if you have the same, like I have page numbers, like page 4. Was that right?
Yeah.
Do you mind playing just a couple of bars from the high F? Yeah, so just there, those few notes, from just in terms of the sound, I hear like maybe it can be a lot simpler. I don't know. Can you just play those notes? The F, E. Yeah. To me, that's much more moving somehow. You have all these 16th notes and then just a few notes. I don't know, maybe just, it's about listening to the shifts, and it's about keeping the bow speeds the same. I guess it's like, if you think of wind players, I'm thinking of Bill Caballero now, but they have that stream of air, and they keep the stream exactly the same, but they just change the pitch, just the simpler the better, something like that. And actually, let's talk about the 16th passages before. Pianists always love when I say this. I always feel like Wieniawski was the Chopin of violin. They love it when you say that, but I do think these kind of figurations are very beautiful. If you think of Chopin, I can't think of any example, but right, and then right? I think that's what's going on here. I think he wants these 16th notes. Yes, they're very virtuosic, but also there's something very beautiful. Yeah, and maybe other passages more even than this one. But I always feel with Wieniawski, the passage work, I think he intended it to be very Chopin-esque and very singing. And yeah, maybe that's it. Now I've talked way too much. Do you want to start from the top? Sounds beautiful. Sorry to interrupt. To interrupt. Yeah, I feel bad because it sounds beautiful. Yeah, I was thinking, of course, the G string melody, that's very hard. I don't know quite what to do with that. But maybe it's true there too. But let's look at the octave higher. I wonder if we can really play very simply, because I feel a little bit like instead of a steady breath throughout, I feel like the bow speed gets slower and it gets faster and it gets slower, something like that. So something like that. Do you want to just play that melody yourself one time from that? La, sol, do. Just there. Just there. I feel. something at the end of the F sharp. Yeah, okay. So just the same bow speed throughout. I think that sounds great. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's a kind of like you have to separate two parts of your brain. You know, you have the right hand and you have the left hand, and it's really like you're not, one doesn't know about the other. You know, you just have, you go completely schizophrenic. You know, and the other one. I guess I should do more vibrato. I love when he writes vibrato in the music. Do you want to play that one last time? Maybe with piano and go on?
Okay.
And I think the rule is, I think Bill said it right. Bill Caballero, he said, whenever you play, the simpler the better. The simpler the better. Bravo. Brava, brava, brava. I see that we're running a little bit out of time. You have such a lovely uppo staccato there. That sounds beautiful. I guess I was wondering, just there, that passage, maybe. I felt like the C sharp, maybe what would happen if we just kept it sustain throughout, you know. Or something like that. Do you want to try that one?
Yeah.
That sounds beautiful to me. That sounds beautiful to me. And you know, I feel these days, whenever you have a dot, whenever you have a tie, whenever a note is kind of longer than it should be, you know, you hold it and then the beat changes, but the note stays, you know, you have to, I feel like it needs a little crescendo into it, and you need to hold on to it a little bit long. You know, so when I was a kid, my teacher used to tell me these kind of rules. You know, he would sit there and I would stand and play, and he would say, you know, every trill needs an accent. And I would stand there and I would think, I mean, how do you know every trill needs an accent? Maybe some trills don't need an accent. You know, what if you come to a trill and it doesn't need an accent, you know? And anyway, it turned out he was right. Every trill needs an accent. You know, the composer emphasizes it because with the trill, and there's a reason why it needs an accent. You know? And the older I get, I try to codify some sort of ideas. And so anyway, whenever there's a tie or a dotted note, I think it's good to crescendo into the beat that changes while you hold the note. And it's always good to hold the note a little bit longer. Okay, now I'm really talking too much. Do you want to play this? Oh, this next section is great. But I think this is very kind of Wieniawski figuration. You know? Do you want to play that one time? Oh, you know what? Actually, one more where I thought could be more sustained. You know, rather than. I don't remember what happens in the plot of the story there, but something. So actually, do you mind starting the passage after that? You know, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry to interrupt. I'm so sorry to interrupt. But even there, I know he has those accents. But maybe this is a very beautiful thing. Maybe it's a. I mean, I can't play it, but maybe it's a beautiful thing where it's a singing thing, and you do this kind of hemiola, you know. Do you want to try just there on the forte? I love that. Amazing. You sound amazing. What about sustaining through these? Well, do you want to try just that?
Yeah.
What do you think of that? How do you like that?
Oh, I like it. I like it.
She's not sure. To my ear, I love it, but I don't know. You know this piece much better than I do. I think we are really running out of time. Do you mind to play from the last the waltz? Dum bum 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 bum. Brava, brava, brava. Such a great job. Thank you for playing today. Please keep it up.
Wonderful, Esther. Thank you.
Thank you,
And-
Lorena, too.
Gil, I love that image of these rules, these boiling things down to these little bite-sized pieces of wisdom, which turn out to be true.
I don't know if they're true.
I know what you mean. We were talking about today. There was my first year in the string seminar. They gave us a book of Sasha Schneider quotes called "Don't Squeeze the Bow," and I had this. It was full of these ideas like that. And if you are able to put all of your bits of wisdom down into writing, I would buy it. So let me know.
You know, I remember just now when you were saying that, I was thinking of Leon Fleischer, the wonderful pianist. And, you know, he was amazing. He had all these kind of sentences that he would say, which were exactly right. You know, he would say things like, good rhythm is playing everything late, but on time. And it's true. It's exactly right. you know.
Interesting. Wow. Great. Thank you. Next we have Honey. Are we
Oh,
can we
hi, honey. Is that how you say your
there
name?
you are. Oh, can we hear you? One more time?
Can't hear you.
Unmute yourself.
She's I think it's probably an external mic or something. We cannot hear you, sorry. Oh, one more time?
Hello, hello.
Oh, now
We can hear you now, yes. You want to turn it up? It's a little soft.
Hello, hello. Is that better?
Yes, that's great.
And do you say your name?
Yes, Hani.
Hani.
Yes.
Nice to meet you. I'm Gil.
Hi.
Yeah. And you're gonna play Izai for us?
Yes.
Great. Well done.
Thank you.
Bravo. So, you know, I never played this one. How long have you been playing it? How is it to play? What are your thoughts?
I've been playing it for a couple months now, maybe. And actually, this is my first design that I've played out of all of his other sonatas. And the second movement is not the easiest because there's so many fifths, so many fourths.
Yes.
And then, you know, all the technical aspects of all Yuzai. And then also there's the musical aspect of trying to keep the music flowing, but also bringing out some of the delicate, intricate parts that's very special to Yuzai. So I think those are something that I've been trying to focus a little bit more on these days.
Yeah, no, that's exactly right. Did you choose this one of the six? Or,
Yeah.
yeah. And why did you choose this one?
I heard a recording that I really, really liked. Actually, I wasn't, like, I knew of all the six sonatas, but I wasn't the most familiar with all of them. And I think I heard one specific recording of this movement, and I was like, oh, I want to try. So,
Yeah. It's cool. It's verso joyous, right? Allegro giocoso, right? It's wonderful. Maybe one day I'll learn it like in another lifetime. I don't know. Yeah. So I don't know. I guess I'm like on a simplification kick. I feel like I just want to make everything simpler. And with Isaiah, I've felt for a long time, you know, when I hear people play it and the things that I've played in front of audience, especially the pulse and the rhythm, you know, as soon as you lose the pulse, your audience start looking at their watch, or their mind starts wandering. And you know, I think that's true for everything. I think that rhythm is primary and primal, you know, and that's true for conversation too. You know, if we keep speaking and we get into a groove of conversation and the beat keeps going, then we pay attention. But if we suddenly lose the beat, and so the train of thought also gets lost. I think that's true for music also. I don't know. Do you want to play just the beginning? By the way, your fifths and fourths, you're nailing them, so don't worry about them. Yeah. Do you want to play the opening? Brava, brava. I felt like maybe you tried to do that a little more, maybe less rubato. Is that right?
I try to keep a more steady.
Keep the pulse. I love that. I think that works. I actually feel like maybe you can do even more. You know, that cede at the end only comes on the second beat. You know, you can maybe keep the pulse all the way to there. You know, that bien rythmé, that's for everything. I'm just gonna throw this out there. I've never played this. I don't know how you played. I remember 100 years ago, I went to play for Zino Francescatti, and it was really like one of the great honors for me. And it was a crazy trip. I'd been in touch with his wife, with Madame Francescatti, and they lived in a house outside of Marseille. And she said, "Look, why don't you take the train to Marseille, and then the maestro has his nap between 1 and 3. The train arrives at 12, but maybe you can have lunch at the train station and come over to our house at 3." Anyway, it was a long time ago, and I put on my suit and I went over there. It was such a hot day, crazy hot day. Anyway, I got to the train station, and I went to check out the house to make sure I knew where I was going. And then I went and waited until 3. Then I went and I played for him the Brahms Violin Concerto. And I played the whole piece through, and he didn't say anything, you know. And then at the end, he was very kind. He couldn't have been kinder. He said, "Sounds very good." But then he said, "Why do you stop the trills?" And I said, "I'm sorry, I couldn't quite think of what he meant." He said, "You know, the trills, you know, where you know," he says, "Why do you stop them?" Because I was playing. And he said, "Don't stop the trills." And that was it. That's all he said to me. And actually it was maybe his final year, or he was already quite sick. And I felt very lucky to have met him and his wife. But anyway, I never stopped the trills after that. And I guess I wonder, the reason I'm bringing it up, the stream of consciousness, because I wonder, what if these notes, what if there is no gap between, you know? I don't know. How does that sound? Do you want to try? Great. Sounds great. I feel bad interrupting you. You know, it's great because you were able to keep the dance, you know, you were able to sustain them and still make it sound jocoso in the dance. You know, just there with the 30 seconds, I lose the beat a little bit. You know, I wonder if it can just be just simpler. And, you know, I'm so bad. Do you know what 72 in the metronome is?
Dun, 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 dun.
You know, maybe I have a metronome. Hang on a second. So, yeah, that's right. bum, 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 bum. You're right on. You're exactly right. Okay. So, yeah. And then there is that little rubato that he writes there. I was wondering if that can somehow be simpler. You know, maybe it's just, you know, maybe it's just getting into that downbeat, a little time, back to the dance, you know? Do you mind last time? Yeah, and I feel like maybe just try to keep the pulse through the 7/4 bar and those 2 bars after. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. You know, the fortissimo. I wonder if there's some way to make, I guess especially the B minor chord, but I wonder if there's just a way to use more bow or to make them ring somehow more. Do you want to just play it?
Yes. Maybe I'll start a measure before.
Okay. I'm sorry to interrupt. I kind of remember Itzhak Perlman in classes. He'd always say, you paid for the whole bow. Use all of it, you know. Make sure you use all of it. Drum, 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 drum. I think that sounds better. To me, that sounds much better, but I feel like you can still use more.
Okay.
Okay, last time. Twice as much bow.
Okay.
How do you get those fifths so good? Do you know? Do you have a hand position that you do especially for the fifths?
A little bit, but it's also kind of different for like every fifth.
Yes.
Especially in different positions, so that's a pain.
Do you know this violinist, Rodney Friend? I think that's his name. Anyway, he, yeah, wonderful violinist, famous teacher, but he wrote a book about the violin in fifths.
Mm.
And that's he has his whole technique is based on, somehow grabbing the fifths correctly, and I think there's a lot to that. Right, but that sort of the higher octaves, the strings are higher off the fingerboard, and then the strings get pulled one way or the other way, different fingers. I don't know. Anyway, whatever you're doing, keep doing that.
Thank you.
You want to do the next section, moderato amabile? Yeah, here too. For somebody listening that doesn't know the piece, I think the pulse is really the first thing that has to be super clear and super simple.
All right.
And sorry to interrupt. Sorry to interrupt. But what happens if you don't stop those?
Oh, I see. Oh.
Yeah, beautiful. I was thinking, there's this, right? This is all E flat major, right? And then there's such a blue note, right? It's like the wrong note. I think maybe that's a big deal. We're that E flat major chord, and then we have that weird, right, F sharp, and then the harmony gets more and more strange. I mean, even that's a big difference, right? The naturals become sharps, and then you have maybe most ambiguous was this forte, these right, these kind of augmented whole tone scale, right? Yeah, do you want to play? Yeah, where's a good place to start? And just for the harmony, yeah, make sure when the notes change, big deal, all the way to the augmented chords.
Okay.
Yeah, to me that makes sense for the shape of that phrase. And of course it's a balance, right? You want to keep the pulse, but you want to show the harmonies. That's the trade-off. Always err on the side of rhythm. That's my feeling anyway. Maybe this can be simpler. I hear a little bit kind of yeah, just separate your right hand from your left hand, just right? And then just drop the fingers. You know. Do you want to do the big da 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 da? It's great. I feel like maybe, you know, we reach the forte, and then that next part, the piano, I think can be very delicate and kind of transparent. You know, you know, I don't know how it goes. And what a weird note. Yeah, a little kind of blue note. Do you want to play from a little before the forte? And maybe just from the tempo, from the A flat major. Yeah. So a couple of note questions. You have A flat and then A natural, is that right?
Where?
Sorry. Yeah, where is a good question. Is that correct? Yeah, I think you want to make sure that's super clear.
Oh,
you know, and then at the end, or
C sharp.
C sharp. Got it. You know, I think we don't have so much more time. Maybe, do you mind just continuing right there? Yeah, thanks. Beautiful. So that fortissimo is the loudest part, right? I think in the beginning there were some fortissimos, but I mean in the kind of chords part, you know. But for this section, it's all building up to that big fortissimo. I'm not sure it felt quite. Do you mind doing the jazz part again? And then yeah. And then when you reach the fortissimo, you know. Yes. Take it home.
Okay.
Brava, brava.
Thank you, thank you.
Great job. Thank you for playing.
Thank you.
Keep up the great work.
Bravo, honey. Beautiful. Great to hear you. Thank you so much, Gil. Thank you for the time. Thank you for the expertise and your thoughts, your energy, and for the music is just infectious. It comes across the Zoom screen. Can everyone just unmute for a second and thank Gil?
No, thank you.
Yeah.
We need to thank the three wonderful artists who played for us
Yes.
today and everybody who made
Yes.
this possible.
Yes, to all the performers. Yes, and yes, thanks for making this such a wonderful wonderful class, wonderful afternoon, sharing the music. Yes.
So happy to be with you. Nice to meet
Yes.
you.
If there's anything good to come out of this period, it's that things like this are now possible. So we really thank you for taking the time and for sharing your thoughts with us today.
Thank you. Very, very happy to have been with you and to hear the three beautiful artists.
Great.
My beautiful, including two pianists.
That's right. Yeah, wonderful pianists. Yes. Okay. Well, thank you, everybody. And we will, this recording will be available. Yes.
Great.
We will have a recording of this available for your viewing if you missed part of the class or want to hear the stories again, which I do. Thanks again, Gil. Be well. Thank you for sharing the time.